Oh, man. Well, the NFL, not a lot of parity the last couple of years. I mean, last year we had 1 versus 2 and then 1 versus 3. I mean, you did have the Bengals beat the Bills in the playoffs last year. But last year it was 49ers against Eagles, and the Eagles were the 1 seed, and Kansas City was the 1 seed. And right now, both 1 seeds are going to be favored again to go on to the Super Bowl. So last night's game would have been a crazy outcome in terms of what the league is setting up, because getting that bye, getting that number 1 seed is just about everything. Getting the number 2 seed isn't all that great. I mean, look at Buffalo. They had to go out there and play a Monday game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that ended up happening with the snow. But I used to like 6 teams, because 6 teams, 16 games, you got really good football teams in the playoffs when you played 16 games. And yeah, but I guess you could make the argument that last night, I guess you can make that argument that last night, that the Packers were the team that changed it. Sorry, just got a report here. So, anyhow and anyway, let's talk about the Packers last night. Green Bay got a perfect game from their defense. That was terrible. I mean, it's the same defense that let Baker Mayfield go perfect in Lambeau, somebody who's never happened before. Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets lit up this Green Bay defense. This Green Bay defense was pitiful for almost the entire year, and I don't know if Joe Woods is still going to keep his job, because this defense wasn't very good. But against the Cowboys, they got timely interceptions, they got pick sixes, and then guess what? Against the best offense in the league, I know it was raining, but their defense turned in, I would argue, a B+, A- performance. I would have made it an A+ if they actually intercepted those footballs and if they stopped the 49ers on the final drive. But the offense in the third quarter, the defense held strong throughout the third quarter of that game. The defense played well. Even in the first half, the defense played solid. And Jordan Love was having an A+ game, but then it came to a screeching halt late in the third quarter. He missed several targets, like that 3rd-and-1 pass that he threw behind Aaron Jones was unacceptable. He threw an interception in the third quarter. And then also before the Anders Carlson field goal, he had a 3rd and 11. If they convert that field goal gets a lot easier. He did not play very well in the fourth quarter, okay? By the time they were down by 3, it was 1 minute left. LaFleur should have called a timeout. He didn't trust his field goal kicker in the rain. At that point, when they got down, it wasn't their day necessarily. Maybe they could have went to overtime, but Green Bay had chances to pull away. Like after that Aaron Jones run, you go out there and score a touchdown. It should be game. If you convert the field goal, you're up by 7 with your defense rolling. And that's what was so interesting, is that the defense played well enough yesterday to beat Brock Purdy. You got an elite level defensive performance from your team, which is a terrible defense. You got your A+ defense, and you got Brock Purdy's F game. Brock Purdy was sailing footballs. Deebo Samuel was out. You had multiple chances to intercept it. Brock Purdy's like a 5'11", 6-foot quarterback. Brock Purdy, honestly, if you put Brock Purdy on the trade market, would how many teams would take Brock? Would the Cowboys take Brock? Maybe. I mean, would the Eagles? I don't know. Would the Chargers or the Jaguars, or you can name a lot of football teams that might not take Brock Purdy. I don't even know if the Cleveland Browns will take Brock. He's a fine quarterback, but I don't know if he's that elite guy. He is fine as a quarterback, but fine can win you games when you have a really good defense, you have an awesome roster, okay, you have a tremendous play caller, okay, but yesterday the quarterback play for San Francisco was really, really problematic for the majority of the game. Now, give Purdy credit, is that the defense kept them in the game. San Francisco's defense bowed up throughout. In the second half, San Fran's defense was really, really good. If not for that kick return by the Packers, San Fran's defense played a great game. I think Jordan Love only threw for about 190 yards in the game. all right, which is not that great. Love was decently efficient. That turnover in the third quarter was worse than the end of the game. What are you going to get it in the field goal range and Carlson can miss it? Are you going to win in overtime on the road there? Listen, Love was trying to go for the touchdown. You're trying to go for the win. I kind of understand it. I'm not going to crush a quarterback over the final drive. I know that's where you're supposed to make your money. When people are going to think about this Bucs-Lions game, like this game wasn't close. This was a 14-point game. The Bucs defense melted and fell apart. You could see it happening in real time. This Packers game, the Packers really had a chance to upset the 49ers. And then I hear their fans saying, we're the youngest team in football. We're only going to get better from there, and we can't wait to be back. And we're going to be back and looking better. Are you really going to be back in a divisional round game with a chance to go to the NFC Championship? It doesn't happen to that many people. You have to go 17 games. You have to be healthy. You have to have breaks go your way, injury-wise, and also in terms of field goal kicking and bounce of ball and all of those things. Look at Aaron Rodgers. All those years, Aaron Rodgers got the 1 seed. He couldn't convert. He couldn't get back to a Super Bowl. Look at when Aaron won the Super Bowl in 2010, we'd be saying, we'll see Aaron win it again. Only Patrick Mahomes has done that. So it is so hard in the NFL to remain on top and be relevant consistently. That's why the greats are able to do it. So we're going to have to see what happens with Green Bay, but they really had a golden opportunity in San Francisco to win that football game yesterday. And now for the 49ers, maybe we'll see a different version of them when they play the Lions. Maybe they'll be able to run the football effectively, although the Lions seem to have pretty good run defense. And maybe Purdy will have a better game, but we'll see. I mean, will Jared Goff against that pass rush be able to extend? Because Jordan Love, I will say this, he extended well. Like for 2 3/4, he played well. He just didn't finish. The entire team did not finish the job. But it's disappointing because you could look back on it 3 years later and not get past that point. And you could have possibly been going to Detroit, a team you already beat, or to Tampa Bay, but really to Detroit. And you could have played a divisional round for a chance at the Super Bowl. And this could have been the year, you know? And that's the thing. There's a lot of veterans on that team. I know that it's a young team, but there's probably veterans on that team saying, dang, I really wanted it this year. I don't know how many years I have left at this violent game that we call NFL football. This beautiful game, though, that we call football. So I love the game. But it's not easy on your body, and again, it's a tough league to stay at it for a while. Alrighty, guys, what did y'all think of yesterday? I wanted the upset. I wanted some carnage in the NFL playoffs. We didn't exactly get it. Kansas City, Buffalo going on now. We'll see what happens. Take care, guys.